Hi, Hoops fans! I'm Anton from Tips and Streams. We have 6 NBA game predictions for today. Let's dive right into it. The first today's prediction is for a matchup between Miami Heat and Utah Jazz. The Miami Heat, renowned for their ironclad defense and tactical offense, are revving up for a road clash with the Utah Jazz. Miami's currently flaunting a striking scoring average of 113.42 points per game, just nudging ahead of Utah's 113.28. They're lighting it up from the field with a 47.32% shooting rate and dazzling from downtown with a 39.28% three-point success rate. This blend of sharpshooting and an average of 41.42 boards per game underscores Miami's well-rounded game plan. Yet, they're grappling with uncertainties as key players Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Josh Richardson, Caleb Martin, and Jamie Jaquez might be sidelined, which could shake up their on-court dynamics. The Utah Jazz, a force to be reckoned with on their own hardwood, showcase a solid 61% field goal accuracy and a 35.56% success rate from the three-point line. Their prowess in snagging rebounds, averaging 46.06 per game, is a critical element in dictating the game's rhythm. The Jazz's teamwork shines through in their assists, averaging 27.22 per game. Looking at recent performances, Miami has been steady, going 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 and holding a strong 5-1 record straight up in their last 6 games. Utah, though, boasts an impressive home record, with an 8-1 run against the spread in their last 9 at home. In head-to-heads, Miami's often had the edge over Utah, clinching 7 of their last 10 encounters, but games in Salt Lake City paint a more balanced picture. Given these factors, the odds lean a bit towards the Utah Jazz. Their home court advantage and Miami's injury concerns tilt the balance in Utah's favor. The Jazz's rebounding skills and team harmony could overshadow Miami's scoring flair. Expect a nail-biter of a game. In sum, despite Miami Heat's impressive figures and momentum, the Utah Jazz, armed with home turf, a healthier squad, and a slightly superior team dynamic, are poised to cover the spread in this showdown. My money's on the Utah Jazz with a 3-point advantage. We're dropping our predictions for each game way before the opening buzzer. So, before you throw down your bets, make sure to hustle and gather injury reports and stories about the matchup. You want to be in full court vision, not shooting blind, when you're putting your stakes on the game. The next prediction is for the match between Toronto Raptors and Detroit Pistons. This showdown is a captivating clash of styles and patterns. The Raptors, boasting an impressive average of 113.07 points per game and a 47.5% field goal rate, are battling for consistency. Their recent performances, especially in back-to-back matchups like tonight's, have been a roller coaster, securing only 2 victories in 5 similar occasions this season. Moreover, their performance against the spread is not up to the mark, with a record of 4 wins and 8 losses in their last 12 games, and notably, they haven't beaten the spread in their last 5 visits to Detroit. Conversely, the Pistons, despite trailing with an average of 109.27 points per game and a slightly lower field goal rate of 46.48%, have a knack for outperforming the spread in home games against Toronto, holding a remarkable 5-0 record in such matchups. This statistic is crucial given the Pistons' home ground advantage and the Raptors' lackluster away record this season. When examining their direct confrontations, the Raptors have outplayed the Pistons in 5 of their last 10 encounters but have only surpassed the spread in 2. In their most recent 5 games in Detroit, the Raptors have clinched 2 victories but failed to exceed the spread in any. This trend indicates the Raptors' potential to win but not by a margin large enough to surpass the spread, especially in Detroit. Injuries are also key. The Raptors are missing Christian Koloko and Garrett Temple, which might weaken their defense and bench depth. The Pistons are without Monty Morris and Isaiah Stewart, affecting their lineup rotation. Taking these elements into account, the prediction tilts in favor of a Raptors victory but not necessarily beating the spread. The Raptors, in spite of recent stumbles, possess sufficient firepower and superior stats to narrowly defeat the Pistons. However, Detroit's pattern of beating the spread at home against Toronto, combined with the Raptors' disappointing record against the spread in Detroit, hints at a more competitive game than the bare stats suggest. Betting odds have fluctuated, mirroring the uncertainty of this clash. These changes acknowledge the strengths and vulnerabilities of both teams. In summary, anticipate a tight victory for the Toronto Raptors, but the Detroit Pistons are likely to surpass the spread, continuing their strong home showings against Toronto. My wager? I'm backing the Detroit Pistons to cover the plus 5-point margin. The next prediction is for the match between New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers. The New York Knicks, sporting a 17-13 win-loss tally, are navigating through choppy waters after dropping 3 out of their last 4 matchups. Their recent tussle with the Magic highlighted some hiccups, especially during the second quarter, a recurring snag in their losses. Yet, the squad is flexing an impressive 115.2 points per game with a shooting accuracy of 46.6%. Standout performers Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson are turning up the heat consistently, with Randle pulling in 22.9 points and 9.4 rebounds on average, and Brunson nailing 26 points and 4 rebounds. Contrastingly, the Indiana Pacers, with a 16-15 ledger, paint a different story. Splitting their last 6 games, they're coming off a spirit-lifting triumph over the Bulls. The Pacers pack a high-octane offense, clocking in at 126.1 points per game with a 50.6% shooting efficiency. Key players Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner are central to their game plan, contributing 24.7 and 17.4 points respectively. In their head-to-head history, the Knicks have mostly dominated the Pacers. Out of their last 10 face-offs, the Knicks have clinched the victory and covered the spread in 7 encounters. Moreover, in their recent 5 visits to Indiana, the Knicks triumphed thrice and managed to cover the spread in those games. Facing back-to-back games, the Knicks' endurance is under the spotlight, having secured just 2 wins in 6 such scenarios this season. This factor could play into their energy and overall performance. On the injury front, the Knicks missed Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims, while the Pacers are without Bruce Brown and have Isaiah Jackson as a doubtful player. These absences might tweak the team's dynamics and game plans. Weighing recent forms, head-to-head stats, and player availability, my prediction tips in favor of the Indiana Pacers clinching a win. They hold the home court, a slightly sharper offense, and a rest advantage over the Knicks. Meanwhile, the Knicks, in a back-to-back game, might see Coach Thibodeau dialing down the game pace to conserve his players' stamina, hinting that the total points might stay below the over-under line of 247.5. In summary, I foresee the Indiana Pacers securing a win, leveraging their home advantage and the Knicks' back-to-back game challenge. However, the Knicks are not ones to back down easily. They are strong in rebounding and maintain a balanced play on both ends, enabling them to dictate the game tempo. My bet is on the New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers staying under 247.5 points. The next prediction is for the match between Philadelphia 76ers and Chicago Bulls. Tonight's hardwood battle between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Chicago Bulls is gearing up to be an epic showdown of basketball giants. Diving into the playbook, we've got a snapshot of how this hoop drama might play out. Kicking off with the stats, Philly stepping onto the court with a solid 22-9 win-loss sheet, while Chi-Town sporting a 14-19 record. The 76ers are dropping buckets at an average of 121.63 points per game, towering over the Bulls' 110.03. Philly's shooting prowess is on point with a 48.27% success rate from the field, outshooting Chicago's 45.37%. Beyond the arc and on the boards, the 76ers are schooling the Bulls' vital plays in today's matchup. Looking at their recent streak, Philly's in the groove, dominating 9-2 against the spread in their latest 11 and going 10-2 in their last 12 outright. The Bulls, though tagged as underdogs, are scrappy, pulling off an 11-3 against the spread in their last 14. That's a testament to their grit. In their face-offs, the 76ers have the upper hand, bagging wins and beating the spread in 7 of their past 10 clashes with the Bulls. Notably, Philly's ruled Chicago's turf in their last 5 matchups, a mental advantage that's hard to shake. But here's the game changer, Philly's in their 5th consecutive night game. They're split down the middle in such scenarios this season. Could fatigue be a factor tonight? Maybe, but their deep bench could be a lifesaver. Both squads are down a few key players. The 76ers are missing Nicholas Batum and Joel Embiid, while the Bulls are without Nikola Vucevic, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, and Torrey Craig. This evens the odds, especially with Embiid out for Philly. After breaking down the stats, current form, injury news, and past showdowns, I'm calling a nail-biter. The 76ers are feeling the heat of back-to-back games and the absence of Embiid is crucial. The Bulls, with their never-say-die attitude and home advantage, are not to be overlooked. So, before you wager on this clash, keep an eye on those injury updates. Wrapping up, Philly's offensive firepower and track record face a stiff challenge against the Bulls, especially minus their star players. I'm placing my chips on the Chicago Bulls snagging a victory over the Embiid-less 76ers. If the Bulls can't seal the deal tonight, it's anybody's guess when they will. The next prediction is for the match between Los Angeles Lakers and Minnesota Timberwolves. Tonight's showdown in the Hoops Arena has the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves clashing at the Target Center, stirring up excitement among basketball aficionados. The Timberwolves, on a hot streak with their impressive 23-7 tally, are ready to exploit their home turf edge. Despite missing key players like Karl-Anthony Towns, they've maintained a solid game rhythm. Their defense is top-notch, conceding just 107.4 points per match, a league-leading stat. They're also dominating the boards, snatching rebounds left and right, both on offense and defense. The Lakers, holding a 17-15 record, are picking up the pace after a shaky season kickoff. Their latest triumph over the Charlotte Hornets has highlighted their capabilities, with Anthony Davis and LeBron James steering the ship. Davis, in particular, has been a cornerstone this season, racking up impressive numbers in points, rebounds, and assists. However, defensive woes and inconsistency are the hurdles they need to vault over to match the Timberwolves' fervor. In their recent face-offs, the Timberwolves have been the dominant pack, especially on their own court. The Lakers have stumbled in these encounters, struggling notably in covering the spread. The Timberwolves' formidable home record juxtaposed with the Lakers' road trip trials adds a layer of intrigue to this clash. Injury updates are pivotal too. The Lakers might be down LeBron James and Anthony Davis, while the Timberwolves could be missing Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Clark. These gaps could markedly sway the team's strategies and on-court dynamics. Weighing all elements, current form, direct confrontations, injury updates, and home versus away performance, the Timberwolves appear to have the upper hand in this duel. Their robust defensive game, combined with the Lakers' defensive hiccups, could be the game-changer. The Timberwolves' knack for maintaining their scoring while clamping down on their rivals' points could steer them towards victory. To wrap up, banking on the Los Angeles Lakers has been a gamble since their tournament triumph, especially after their 7-point defeat to the Timberwolves last week at this very venue. With LeBron James and Anthony Davis still hobbling and questionable for the game, I foresee the Minnesota Timberwolves seizing the win, leveraging their home advantage and defensive prowess. They're also likely to cover the spread, considering their solid track record in this aspect against the Lakers' road challenges. My bet is on the Minnesota Timberwolves at minus 3.5. The last prediction for today is for the matchup between Dallas Mavericks and Golden State Warriors. In the Hoop universe, the Dallas Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors are set to clash at the Chase Center, promising a showdown filled with thrill and skill. The Mavericks, boasting an 18-14 record and showing their mettle with a 10-7 score in away games, enter the arena with their offensive prowess shining bright. Scoring an average of 118.8 points per game, they're ranked 7th in the league, thanks to their sharpshooting accuracy of 46.9% from the field and a commendable 36.7% from beyond the arc. Yet, they've got some ground to cover in rebounding, averaging 42.1 per game and sitting 24th in the league. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors, holding a 15-16 record with a 9-7 home game advantage, showcase their dominance in rebounds and assists. They're the league leaders with an average of 47.3 rebounds per game and stand 6th in assists with 28 per game. Their point game trails the Mavericks slightly at 116.6 per game, with a field goal percentage of 45.91% and a three-point game neck-and-neck with the Mavericks at 36.75%. Diving into the head-to-head stats, in their last 10 encounters, the Mavericks clinched 4 wins and beat the spread in 6. In their last 6 showdowns in San Francisco, the Mavericks triumphed once and outplayed the spread twice. This tilt favors the Warriors, especially with the home court vibe. Injuries also play a big role. The Mavericks might miss their star, Luka Doncic, while Kyrie Irving and Maxi Kleber are sidelined. The Warriors could be down Draymond Green and maybe Kevin Looney. These absences could turn the game's tide. Overall, the Warriors edge ahead with their home court supremacy and superior rebounding. But the Mavericks' scoring finesse and sharp shooting shouldn't be underestimated. It's a matchup poised for intensity, with the Warriors slightly favored, especially if they leverage their rebounding strength and curb the Mavericks' scoring threats. Though a high-scoring battle is anticipated, the 241.5 points over-under line seems a stretch. Both teams can rack up points, but with the Warriors averaging about 100 possessions and the Mavericks trending under in their recent games, a high total seems less likely. Prediction leans towards a Warriors win in a tight contest. The Mavericks, despite injuries and away game hurdles, could still fiercely compete, possibly beating the spread. My money's on the Golden State Warriors to snatch the victory, with total points falling below the 241.5 line.